Today we're in Redditch and we're looking for the sculpture of John Bonham.
John Henry Bonham, over the top!
The man with the golden groove.
He defined and set the foundation for rock drumming.
Hands down, he was the greatest rock drummer of all time.
His sound, technique and musicianship and groove have never been duplicated.
No one comes close and probably never will.
Many consider Led Zeppelin to be one of the most innovative and influential rock groups in rock history. They have been credited as significantly impacting the nature of the music industry. Their style drew from a variety of influences, including blues and folk music. Their untitled fourth album, commonly known as Led Zeppelin 4, is one of the best-selling albums in history, with 37 million copies sold. In 1966, session guitarist Jimmy Page joined the blues rock band the Yardbirds. Page wanted to form a supergroup with him and Jeff Beck on guitar. The group never formed, although Page, Beck and Keith Moon from The Who did record a song together in 1966. The Yardbirds played their final gig in July in 1968 at the Luton College of Technology. Page began putting a new lineup together. His first choice of lead singer was Terry Reid, but he declined the offer and suggested Robert Plant as the singer from a band called Band of Joy. Plant accepted the position and recommended former Band of Joy drummer John Bonham. John Paul Jones inquired about the vacant position for a bass guitarist at the suggestion of his wife. Page had known Jones since they were both session musicians and agreed to let him join as the final member. In August 1968, the four played together for the first time in a room below the record store in Gerrard Street in London. The album's track, Gin Blues, with Plant on harmonica, was the first studio track to feature all four future members of Led Zeppelin. The name Led Zeppelin stems from a humorous conversation with Keith Moon and John Entwistle from The Who. They had suggested that a supergroup with Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck would go down like a lead balloon, an idiom for disastrous results. Atlantic Records signed Led Zeppelin without ever seeing them, with an advance of $143,000. It was the biggest deal of its kind for a new band at the time. So today we are in Epsom and we're looking for the childhood home of Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page left school at the age of 14 to pursue a musical career as a guitarist.
He is mainly self-taught and he joined an unknown band called the Crusaders. He started making a name for himself as a session guitarist for Decca Records.
In 1966, Jimmy joined the Yardbirds. This was, however, after the group had their most successful hits.
Jimmy had a preference for a more heavier sound,
whilst the other members did not, and the group split up in 1968. So that building right behind me, that's the childhood home, Jimmy Page. So that building behind us, that is the childhood home of Robert Plant. September 1980, Led Zeppelin had begun rehearsals for their upcoming tour. John Bonham, known as Bonzo to his bandmates, was mostly a self-taught drummer. He is now regarded as one of the greatest rock drummers of all time, esteemed for his power and distinctive sound. On the day leading up to his premature death, he was binge drinking for 12 hours. Bonzo was so intoxicated that he vomited in his sleep and choked to death. He was only 32. In December of 1980, Zeppelin felt no one could replace Bonham and chose to disband. In 1988, Jason Bonham Bonzo's son joined the surviving members and participated in the reunion of Led Zeppelin and embarked on an American tour in 2009 and a worldwide tour in 2011, and they are currently on tour in the States in 2021. Click on this video right here for a brief history on the Rolling Stones.